You have a stack of books sitting on your shelf that you never finished. You have told yourself for years that you are not really a reader. You keep starting books and putting them down after chapter 2. Something inside you keeps saying you just do not have the time. But that is not really true. There's only the choice you have not made yet. Today, we are going to walk through what actually happens to your life after you read 50 books in a single year. Not the fake version you see online. Not the version where someone becomes a genius overnight. The real version. The slow version. The version that quietly changes who you become. Stay until the end because level 7 is the one nobody talks about, and it is the one that matters the most. So get comfortable, turn off the noise around you, and let's walk through this together one level at a time. This is not a speed reading trick. There's no secret method hiding in this video. What you are about to hear is far more valuable than any shortcut could ever be. It is a map of the exact stages your mind and your habits move through once you finally commit to reading 50 books in 1 year. Some of these levels will feel familiar the moment I say them out loud. Some of them you have not lived yet, but you will recognize them the second they arrive in your own life. Keep this map close, because most people never see it laid out this clearly until years after they needed it most. Level 1. The first thing that changes is not your bookshelf. It is your evenings. The moment you decide to read 50 books this year, something shifts inside your daily schedule. You start looking at your phone screen time report with a strange new kind of guilt. You start noticing how many hours disappear into scrolling without you even choosing to scroll. This is not an accident. Your brain has just been told that time is not unlimited anymore. It is a resource, and resources get protected. You will feel a strange mix of excitement and doubt in the same hour. Excitement because you finally picked a goal that sounds almost impossible. Doubt because 50 books sounds like a number built for other people. People with more free time. People with better focus. But you are not most people. Most people quit right here, in the first 3 days. They read 40 pages and get distracted by a notification and never pick the book back up again. But you already know the first slow chapter is not the end of the story. It is only the entry fee for learning something new. Think about the first time you tried to run a mile without stopping. Your lungs burned before your legs got used to it. This is the same burn, except this time the burn is in your attention span and the reward is far more valuable than any medal. By the end of week 1, you will notice a small but real change. You stop asking, do I have time to read? You start asking, what book should I pick up next? That question alone puts you ahead of almost everyone who is still stuck scrolling through their phone every single night. Think about how many people you know who have said the exact same sentence for years. I'm going to start reading more next year. Next year never comes for them because they are waiting for a feeling of free time that will never actually arrive. You did not wait for free time to magically appear. You carved it out of a schedule that felt completely full already. That single decision already separates you from 90% of people your age. Nobody claps for you in this moment. There's no trophy for finishing the first book of the year. Nobody posts a video celebrating it. It happens quietly on a random weeknight while everyone else is watching something forgettable. But quiet moments like this one are exactly where real transformation begins. Not on a stage, not with an audience. Just you and a decision nobody else even noticed you made. Level 2. By week 2, something strange starts happening inside your daily routine. You start carrying a book with you everywhere you go. In your bag, in your car, next to your bed. This is completely normal. Almost everyone does this at the start of their journey. It feels less like a task and more like keeping a friend nearby, just in case there's a spare 5 minutes. Some days you read 3 pages standing in a line somewhere. Some days you read 40 pages before falling asleep. You start to notice your evenings feel different than they used to. Instead of scrolling until your eyes hurt, you find yourself reaching for a chapter instead. This is the first real test of the whole journey. Because if you wait for perfect focus and perfect silence, you will never open the book at all. The people who succeed long-term learn something important right here that changes everything for them. They learn to read in small broken pieces instead of waiting for one long perfect session. This does not happen overnight. It takes weeks of forcing yourself to read for 10 minutes here and 15 minutes there before your brain finally accepts that consistency matters more than length. Once that switch flips inside you, something beautiful happens. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to read. You start treating every spare 5 minutes as an opportunity instead of dead time waiting to be filled with your phone. There's a version of you right now who still reaches for a screen out of pure habit 40 times a day. There's a future version of you who reaches for a book without even thinking twice about it. The distance between those two versions is not talent. It is not luck either. It is simply repetition. Every single time you resist the urge to open an app out of boredom, you are quietly teaching your own brain a new lesson. The lesson is this: My attention does not belong to whatever notification lights up first. This lesson takes weeks to sink in fully. Some days you will fail and check your phone 20 times before you even open a book. That is fine. Progress in this level is never a straight line upward. It moves in bursts, strong for 3 days, weak for 2, then suddenly stronger again when you least expect it. Level 3. Around week 4, your thinking about time starts to rewire itself almost completely. You used to see idle minutes as moments to check your phone out of habit. Now you see them differently. You see them as tiny openings for a few more pages. This shift sounds small on paper, but it is massive in real life. You start asking a brand new question before you reach for your phone out of boredom. Not what is happening online right now. But is this 5 minutes worth more to me scrolling or reading? That one question quietly kills a huge number of mindless phone pickups before they even happen. You do not become someone who avoids technology completely. You become intentional. There's a real difference between the two. People who avoid technology out of fear miss out on real value. Intentional people simply choose where their attention goes instead of letting an app choose it for them. Your 50th book still feels far away right now. But the identity forming around this habit is already very real. You start to think of yourself as someone who reads, not someone who is trying to read more someday. That tiny shift in language matters more than most people realize. Words shape identity. And identity shapes every decision you make after this point. You start noticing other small habits shifting too. You fall asleep a little easier at night. You feel a little calmer waiting in lines or sitting in traffic. None of these feel dramatic in the moment. But together, they are quietly rebuilding the foundation your whole relationship with your own attention stands on. There's another quiet shift happening here that deserves its own moment. You start to notice the difference between things that entertain you and things that actually stay with you afterward. A viral video suddenly feels less satisfying than it used to. An hour of mindless scrolling loses some of its pull once you picture what that same hour could become inside a good story or a useful idea. This is not about denying yourself entertainment. You still watch things you enjoy. But now every hour has to earn its place before it disappears completely from your memory. That filter did not exist a few months ago. It exists now because your first few weeks of reading taught it to you without you ever sitting down to study it on purpose. Level 4. By month 2, the habit starts building itself without much effort from you. You are no longer forcing yourself to pick up a book every single day. It becomes automatic the same way checking your phone used to be automatic. This is the level where real compounding truly begins. Not just compounding of books finished, but compounding of focus itself. Every single time you choose 10 pages over 10 minutes of scrolling, you are training a muscle deep inside you. And like any muscle, it gets stronger the more often you use it. People around you start to notice something different about you too. You talk less about a show everyone is watching, and more about an idea from a book you just finished. Some friends find this boring and change the subject fast. Some friends find this interesting and start asking what you have been reading lately. You will notice the room slowly divide into 2 groups without you ever meaning to divide it. The ones who ask you for a recommendation, and the ones who quietly stop bringing up books around you at all. Both reactions are completely normal. Neither one should slow you down even a little. This is also the level where your reading speed starts to change on its own. Not because you tried to read faster, but because your brain has simply had more practice moving through pages without getting distracted every few lines. This level also introduces a quiet kind of confidence that has nothing to do with bragging. You stop needing to announce every book you finish to the people around you. You simply finish it and move on to the next one. There's a strange freedom in this. Early on, you might have wanted validation for every book you picked up. Is this a good choice? Should I be reading something more impressive? By month 2, you already know most of these answers belong to you and nobody else. Your taste is not identical to your coworker's taste or your cousin's taste. The list that works is the list you can actually stick to for months without resenting it. That realization alone saves you from chasing dozens of recommended reading lists that were never built for your own curiosity in the first place. Level 5. Somewhere around month 3, the first real test finally arrives. You hit a book that bores you completely. A slow start. Dense language, chapters that feel like homework instead of enjoyment. This is the exact moment that separates people who stay from people who quit forever. Your motivation will drop the first time a book feels like a chore instead of a pleasure. This is completely normal. Even people who have read for 20 straight years still hit boring books sometimes. What matters most is what you do next. Most beginners force themselves through every single page out of guilt and eventually burn out on reading altogether. The people who eventually build a real 50-book year do something completely different in this exact moment. They give themselves permission to put a book down and pick up a different one. They remember why they started this whole journey in the first place. They remember that this goal was never meant to feel like punishment. This level teaches you something no reading list can ever fully prepare you for. It teaches you the difference between quitting on reading and simply quitting on the wrong book at the wrong time. And once you learn to walk away from a book without walking away from the habit itself, you unlock a kind of quiet freedom that cannot be taught in any classroom. It can only be earned through experience. During this boring stretch, you might catch yourself staring at the same page for several minutes without absorbing a single word. This is a strange kind of test your own mind is running on itself. Part of you wants a reason to quit reading altogether and feel relief right now. Part of you remembers the promise you made when you started this whole journey. The version of you that wins this internal argument is the version that closes the boring book and picks up something completely different for a while. A change of pace has saved more reading habits than any productivity trick ever has. You come back a week later to the harder book. Something inside your patience feels a little steadier than before. You survive the test, and tests like this one only get easier the second time they show up. Level 6. By month 5, something quiet but powerful happens deep inside your mind. You stop comparing your reading list to everyone else online. In the beginning, you probably followed accounts showing huge stacks of books read in a single month by strangers. Somewhere along this level, you realize most of that is noise. Some of it is not even sustainable to begin with. You start caring less about beating some stranger's book count on a screen and more about beating your own count from last month. This shift feels almost boring from the outside looking in. But it is one of the most important mental shifts in this entire process. Boring is what quietly builds a real habit over time. Comparison is usually what destroys it fast. Around this time, you are no longer just counting books. You have likely started noticing patterns in what you actually enjoy. Certain topics keep pulling you back. Certain authors keep showing up on your list without you planning it that way. You are quietly building a clearer picture of your own mind, one that most people never take the time to discover because they never sit still long enough to notice it. You start to notice a strange kind of silence, replacing the noise that used to fill your head about what you should be reading next. You no longer feel the need to check what everyone else is reading this month. Their list is their list. Yours is quietly unfolding at its own pace in the background of your life. This silence is not boredom, it is peace. And peace is something almost nobody warns you about when they talk about reading challenges. Everyone talks about numbers and finish counts and yearly totals. Almost nobody talks about the quiet calm that slowly replaces years of low-grade guilt about not reading enough that you did not even realize you were carrying around every single day. Level 7. This is the level almost nobody talks about enough. Somewhere around month 6 or 7, you realize the book count was never really the point of any of this. The real change happened quietly inside you the whole time. You became someone who can sit with a slow idea instead of needing constant stimulation. You became someone who can hold 2 different opinions in your head at once without needing to pick a side immediately. You became someone who trusts a long process, even when that process feels invisible for weeks at a time. These are not reading skills at all. These are life skills that books simply revealed inside you. And once you build these skills around reading, you start applying them everywhere else in your life without even trying. Your conversations shift in ways people around you start to notice. Your patience with complicated situations shifts too. Even your own thoughts feel more organized because you have spent months practicing how to follow a long argument from beginning to end. The first 50-book goal was never really about the number 50 at all. It was the smallest possible entry point into becoming a completely different version of yourself. A version that thinks in complete ideas instead of fragments. A version that sits with discomfort instead of reaching for a distraction. A version other people will eventually look at and ask the exact same question you once asked someone else. How did you start? Think back to who you were before you picked up that first book this year. That person scrolled to fill silence. This version of you fills silence with something that actually stays with you. Somewhere in these 7 levels, you stopped being a person who consumes content and slowly became a person who absorbs ideas instead. Consumption is fast and forgettable and usually regretted later. Absorption is slow and considered and almost always respected later. That single shift alone is worth more than any number of books sitting on a shelf right now. The shelf will keep filling up on its own timeline. Some years you will hit 50, some years you will fall short. But the person you became while walking through these 7 levels does not disappear just because one year looked different than another. That person stays with you into every future decision you will ever make. A difficult conversation, a slow project that takes years instead of weeks, a relationship that requires patience instead of quick answers. The patience you built here quietly shows up everywhere else in your life without you even asking it to. Think about the version of you that exists 5 years from now looking back at this exact year. That version does not remember the exact number of books finished. That version remembers who they became while chasing that number. The late nights with a lamp on instead of a screen glowing in the dark. The slow mornings with coffee and a chapter instead of a feed that never ends. The strange calm that arrived somewhere around month 6 and never fully left. That is the real 50-book year, not a number on a spreadsheet, a quiet rebuilding of how you spend the only resource nobody can ever give you more of, your time. If any part of this video hit something in you, make sure you are subscribed because this channel is built for exactly this kind of transformation. This is POV Zenn, a place where we do not just talk about change from a distance. We walk through it step by step together until it actually sticks in your life. New videos drop regularly, breaking down the real levels behind personal growth and quiet discipline. No shortcuts, no fake promises, just the real path most people are too impatient to walk down. If you made it this far into the video, you already have more patience than most people watching this exact screen right now. Every single week, we break down another level of growth that most people never take the time to slow down and understand. Sometimes it is about books, sometimes it is about discipline, sometimes it is about the quiet mental battles nobody else can see from the outside. POV Zenn was built for people exactly like you. People who are done waiting for the perfect moment. People who are ready to start small and let time do the heavy lifting from here. Drop a comment below and tell us which level hit you the hardest today. Was it the doubt in level 1, the boring book in level 5, or the silence that finally arrived by level 7? We read every single comment because this channel grows through people like you sharing their own honest starting point. Hit subscribe right now before you forget. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next level we break down together. And remember, the version of you a year from today is being built entirely out of the small decisions you make today. Make a good one. We will see you in the next video.